You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. Manitoba Underground Opera has a way of reinterpreting the classics, taking lesser heard, rarely staged productions and giving them new voice for a modern audience. In the midst of their Odyssey 2023 season, the company continues to take the path less traveled, transporting audiences back to the French Baroque with the production of Jean-Phillipe Rameau's opera Castor et Pollux. MUO General Manager Brendan McKeen and soprano Nikita Labdon have joined me in studio. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for being here. What a glorious overture that is. I have to say, it is very gripping, isn't it, Brendan?
It's so beautiful. I love when you get a really good early ensemble that focuses on it, and just they're cracking overtures when you do it right.
Yeah, they really, really are. And so before we get to Castor et Pollux, I just want to back up a little bit. Brendan, we last had you in studio ahead of the world premiere of the MUO commissioned opera, The Mansplaining Division, which sold out its run. Big
Right?
congrats on that.
Whoa.
From then, you presented the annual children's tour to over 1,000 parents and kids. And now the second opera in the 3-installment Odyssey series. What's this season been like thus far for MUO?
A roller coaster of awesome. Truly. It's like all the favorite parts of a roller coaster without any of the bad stuff. No, we've been doing incredibly well. Actually, even our upcoming show, we sold out opening night, and we're 5 tickets away from selling out our second night. So we're on trend to just selling this one right out too.
All right, so that concludes our interview then, because no, I'm just
So
kidding.
fun, thank
but,
you.
While people are listening, ManitobaUndergroundOpera.com, the place to go to get those tickets while they're still available. So let's chat a little bit about Castor et Pollux then. This latest production, how does it fit into the Odyssey narrative that is Odyssey 2023?
Oh my goodness. Well, this one was the one that actually kind of really started the Odyssey theme, because it's about the twins, the ancient Greek twins, Castor and Pollux, one being mortal and one being immortal. The mortal one, Nikita, goes off to war and unfortunately does not make it through. So Pollux has to venture to the underworld and up into the gods and all through to basically reunite with their long-lost brother. So it's truly about the journeys of the two of them being separated and coming back together. And it's definitely an odyssey. It's not a trip down the street.
Yeah. It sounds like it's going to be quite the treacherous commute down to the underworld and all that probably ensues thereafter. Nikita, let's bring you into the conversation here. You're a Manitoba born and raised soprano whose recent performance engagements include the Government of Manitoba's coronation celebration back on May 6th, as well as the Manitoba Opera fundraiser earlier this year. You performed with MUO before, but this is your title role debut, is that right?
Yeah, with MUO, I'm super pumped because I've been performing with them since 2015. And so Brendan and I go way back. So it's really nice to kind of have the choristers that I've sung in the chorus with over the past few years singing with me.
And there's also something special about working with a company and growing with a company too, right?
It really is, yeah.
So then let me ask you this. What keeps you coming back to MUO? What do you enjoy so much about it?
Well, I love Brendan.
Here's your $20.
Yeah. And, they're just always so creative with how they put on productions that it's just a really fun way to kind of do traditional operas, but get to do it in an unconventional, untraditional way.
Now, this opera, we were chatting as the overture was going to air and talking about how great it is, but it isn't one of those that you kind of come across when you're going through music school. We both went through Des Arts Music at the U of M. It's not one of those that they talk about in history class, is it?
No, not at all.
So what has your experience been like, just before we get to your role and singing specifically, what's it been like discovering Castor et Pollux, this work by Jean-Phillipe Rameau?
It's stunning. I've done a few Baroque operas, of course, in U of M.
Yeah.
But this one is so beautiful, and it's fun to do French Baroque because it just kind of, I don't know, everything's so delicate and dramatic and just stunning music, especially at the St. Boniface Cathedral. It looks beautiful.
So let's talk about this debut in a title role, singing the role of Castor, and there's been a bit of a change to this role in a classic MUO type of take. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes. Well, the original role was written for tenor, and they're having a soprano sing it. And then Pollux, my brother, was originally written for a bass, and they're also having a soprano sing it. So having two totally different voice types and having sopranos sing them has been quite the challenge, but it has been so fun. Just, I think, especially for Paulina, my counterpart, bass stuff sits quite low, and if you transpose it up an octave, it's still quite low. So it's been fun for her to kind of dig into how basses would perform. And for me, it's fun to sing a very dramatic tenor role. I've never thought that I would get to be like the drama queen, hero tenor. So it's been really fun.
Yeah, the soprano gets to bring the drama as a tenor.
It's
I mean, what a
true.
fun twist
It's
that
true.
is. Well, for you, I mean, you talk about the changes that Paulina Gonzalez has had to make, and she's
Yeah.
been on the show before. Fantastic singer, as are you. Can you talk about finding that voice? Like, how do you stay true to your sound while singing those part that was written for a tenor? Like, were there a lot of note changes? How do you accommodate all that?
There was a few note changes, not too many actually. It's not bad when you transpose mine up
Yeah.
the octave. It's in a soprano range, but
Yeah.
the way a tenor voice works and maneuvers through that range is totally different from a soprano. So it kind of hangs around a soprano's passaggio, which is not a soprano's favorite place to hang out.
You don't like to live there, right
no,
in that break?
No, not really. But it's just been a lot of practicing, and it's been a fun challenge. And there's been a few things we've just kind of dropped the octave because nobody wants to hear a soprano screaming A's for like half a page.
With that said, Brendan, we've heard from Nikita and chatting about, the role that Paulina will be singing as her brother Pollux. Can you tell us about the rest of the cast that you assembled for this production?
Yeah, I have to say, this is so made in Manitoba. Truly, truly. It's basically like we took a French Baroque opera and covered it in honey dill sauce. The cast, we've got Shannon Hebert, so born and raised in Manitoba, and then Alberta stole her away, and we are luring her back. So she's music directing. James is creating projections, Manitoban. Haley Witt is Talaira. Geneva Halverson is Phoebe. The whole chorus, completely Manitoban. Assistant director, Manitoban. We've got all of this amazing talent in this city, and this just became a way to put everyone together in this big, beautiful space and just show what we can do here.
And what a showcase it will be, taking place at St. Boniface Cathedral, which has been one of the go-to venues for Manitoba Underground Opera, hasn't it?
It truly has. We've always really liked it. There's something totally magical of, starting in the daylight and then the sun setting as the opera keeps going, and then the breeze kind of picks up. And, Manitobans, we're crazy about our summers because we don't want to think about what's coming next. So this is just, to me, it's always late August is the perfect time to just get that last squeeze out of the sponge before you have to think about anything in your lives starting in fall.
The other thing, too, that it provides is a wonderful opportunity to showcase lighting design, and in this case, projection. Can you tell us a little bit more about what James has planned for MUO?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so basically, it's going to start, the opera starts on Earth. The war is about to happen, kind of around Act 2. So it's going to seem like the regular St. Boniface Cathedral. And then Pollux is going to journey up to the heavens. So you're going to see some things start to happen. I don't want to give too much away. And then Pollux then journeys down to hell. So you're going to see something totally different. And then in the traditional story, the way the twins are reunited, they go to, Zeus puts them in the stars as the constellation Gemini. So, there'll be stars at the end, and they will be 70 feet tall and 60 feet wide, covering the entire facade of this cathedral. So it's really going to be, you'll notice that the magic will completely take over as the sun is setting.
I believe yesterday you came off a dress rehearsal. That's right, Nikita?
Yeah.
So you finally got to run through it all. You got to see it all, experience it. What was your takeaway after yesterday?
It was incredible. By seeing the projections, it just makes you feel like in character, and you can see the vision. And it just, I don't know, it's way more fun performing on stage with everything and costumes and...
Yeah, a little different than rehearsal hall, hey?
Yeah.
And then so the last thing I want to ask you, too, is, in addition to the great cast that's been assembled, the Manitoba cast, the creative team, everybody that's involved, you also get to perform with a sort of a pickup orchestra, some strings, some timpani. What's that like, especially in an outdoor setting? You're an MUO veteran at this point.
Yes.
What's it like performing outdoors?
I love performing outdoors. I think the most difficult thing this time is we don't have a conductor. So everything is led by Shannon. So instead of having someone waving a baton, helping us come in and keeping the group together, it's if you miss your cue or you don't hear something, that's it. You've got to keep going. So that was probably the biggest challenge this year is there's nobody kind of keeping us all on the same page. We just have to trust each other and trust our ears and trust the space and work as a team, which is really fun.
Yeah, I was going to say high stakes, but high reward too.
Absolutely,
right? And it adds to the thrill of live performance.
Yeah, it really does.
So, Brendan, you already talked about how ticket sales have been going thus far. The show opens tomorrow. General tickets are $25. For people kind of on the fence, what would you say to those who are thinking, French Baroque opera, I'm not sure it's my jam. What would you say to them?
Well, it's truly kind of like the MUO thing forever. Every piece we do is going to be something you're never going to see again in a way that will always kind of fascinate or blow your expectations or just, wow, what was that? It was cool, but what was that? So we don't ever redo things. So come see this. It's your one and only chance to see these giant projections, the setting summer sun, and this incredible cast of, it's 21 on stage plus orchestra. So it's huge.
Yeah, it's a big production.
Huge.
Shows begin at 8 p.m. Opening night tomorrow, sold out.
Yes.
Wednesday, few tickets available. But there's still a couple more shows after that to check out, running through the 25th. Tickets available online at ManitobaUndergroundOpera.com. You can't get them at the door, but you add $5 for that, right, as a service fee?
Honestly, I'm guessing there won't even be any left at the door, but
ManitobaUndergroundOpera.com.
if you want to try, sure.
Yeah, if you want to roll the dice, go for it. But if you want to secure your seat, again, head to the website. We've got the details up at classic107.com as well. Nikita, Brendan, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you so much.